I think that there are special players, and this is my idea to the transfer window, right? So when a player is quoted £50 million upwards, I think it's a special player. I think the player
in the current market, I think it's just inflation.
Ben White was
no.
Ben White
For
is not
serious,
30 million.
for serious clubs.
He's not.
For serious clubs.
Yeah.
I'm talking
for serious
clubs. £50 million player is a potential match winner.
Yeah.
Whether he defends in a way that wins you the 3 points, or he scores a goal or makes an assist or can create a moment of magic, I think a £50 million player must have a match winning quality.
Yeah.
Right? It's a personal principle. So when I see a player quoted for £100 million, I believe that the Champions League must be on your CV where you feel
Like
100
Wenger will
million.
say it.
I
Wenger will say, if I'm buying 80 million pounds player, he must be doing our throw-ins. He must be taking the corner kicks.
No.
He must be playing the penalties. He must be scoring the goals.
that's an exaggerated way to put it, right? But
Wenger is obedient.
where it's coming from is quite understandable. So Liverpool go out and sign Darwin Núñez, right? Depending on where you read, 85, you see 85.
Club
you see,
doesn't really spend money.
Club doesn't really spend money.
He builds players.
Competition for another day, right?
Jack nonsense.
Right. But when that happens, and Man City sign Haaland, you can tell Man City sign Haaland for 65 there about special player, match winner, Ballon d'Or potential. He'll probably win it. Liverpool have gone and thought, you know what?
Pressure.
We have a transfer strategy that has worked largely for the last 6 years. So we have the confidence to go out and splash money on the player because ultimately you have a system. If the player is half good, he'll work. Right? So when United go ahead and chase a player and it's quoted £80 million by Barcelona, Frenkie De Jong, I think that there are levels of insanity at the football club. Because I tell you what, it's the same thing about Mauricio Pochettino. So before Ten Hag got the job, United kept forcing about Pochettino.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking,
The perfect fit according to Gary Neville.
there's clearly a nostalgia that I don't remember here. Because I think about the Pochettino from 2017 and 2018. It's the same thing with United now with De Jong. The De Jong you're seeing now, outshone by Garvey and Pedri in midfield, right? Outshone by all these kids that came from nowhere,
Even as a Barca fan,
Even-
I was saying it on
right? So
It's
what
not-
could be special about this guy that makes you continuously brief the media that you're willing to spend this amount of money on him? I don't see a special player.
He could be the manager. It could be the manager.
And I'm saying it now.
Haven't you considered that?
I'm saying it now before the job starts. If Ten Hag continues this insistent push on De Jong, I think that he might get fired before the 3 years finish.
He wants control. He wants United to control games. In that United midfield,
What did Jorginho
there's
do?
not a single player who can do that. He's looking for a number 6, like they say.
What's De Jong going to do? Like, what's special about him that United will
keeps
need?
the ball better.
Is De Jong better than Rodri at controlling the ball? Controlling the
Keeping
game.
the ball, yes.
Better than Rodri.
Yes.
Okay.
He can keep the ball.
So tell
he can move with the ball.
tell me-
Rodri will get the ball and give it out.
Tell me,
So my
tell me
problem-
one Premier League midfielder that controls the game.
Ruben Neves,
Okay.
Thiago Alcantara,
Yeah.
Moutinho.
Yeah.
These are people who can
Odegaard.
control the game. I don't make I slap you.
I will pour you this thing.
It's Odegaard.
Right?
You dey whine me
So
abi?
I don't agree with all.
Yuri Tillemans.
I think Thiago controls the game
My guy.
against some less opposition.
No, I think Thiago controls the game.
Okay,
I think Thiago controls the game.
Cool. Thiago Alcantara controls the game, top player, right? Who else? Ruben Neves.
Ruben Neves.
I think Ruben Neves does.
Ruben Neves.
Even though I think Ruben Neves does
who
so
said
in
stop that nonsense?
partnership most of the
Odegaard.
time with Moutinho.
Moutinho.
Right?
But I think Ruben Neves does.
Right?
Ruben Neves
So
does.
Ruben Neves controls the game. Thiago Alcantara. Who else?
Rodri.
Maybe Tillemans.
Tillemans.
Kovacic does. Kovacic does.
Kovacic controls the pace of the game.
Kovacic controls the game.
I don't agree. I think it's more.
You don't need to
no,
agree,
no,
but that's what
no,
it is.
Listen,
You
You don't need
listen,
to agree,
even
but I'm
Shelby-
telling you that
Listen,
Kovacic does.
listen
Even
now.
Shelby Jones.
It's not indictment.
Ah!
No, listen.
Shelby Jones.
It's not an
How many
indictment
Chelsea games
on.
you watch this season,
Hold
bro?
on. It's not an indictment on Kovacic.
I hear you,
think,
but
I think,
I
I think
don't
he's more a traveler. with
Yeah.
the ball than controlling the game.
He
No.
travels with the
But
ball.
here's the thing.
He doesn't set the tempo of the game.
No.
When you say control,
People control
Games
Listen,
in different
you
ways.
understand? People
No.
control games in different
No.
ways. There
No.
are people who. That's why when you mention Jojo Shelby, I can't disagree.
Does Kovacic set the
Because-
tempo of the game? No.
Wait now,
can't-
calm down. I think he
He
does.
sets a tempo.
Now,
in
here's the
of
thing.
game,
I think in a
with his
different way.
running.
For example, with Jojo Shelby, Jojo Shelby, you can tell that it's a Jojo Shelby show going on by the time you start seeing those 50, 40, 60 yard passes.
yeah.
You can tell. You get with Thiago, the moment you see Thiago dropping the ball here, moving and taking it back and doing a turn and switching it to that side,
Yeah.
you know there's an Alcantara show going on. With what's his name?
Kovacic.
Kovacic. With Kovacic, the moment you see him, he takes the ball from
Driving
the defense
the ball.
line, glides, dim, makes a
For me,
pass.
it's
Again,
control.
he takes another ball, glides, try attempts a shot. He can't shoot to save his life. By the way,
For
he
me,
goes again. You
the guy
know
who
that
controls
this
the
guy,
game. For me, the guy who controls the game is that guy in the middle who's like a slippery.
No. Aside that,
no,
I think for
no,
me,
no,
I think for
no.
me, he's the guy. Wait, I think for me, he's the guy who.
Listen.
The moment, the more the game goes on, he's the guy that his team is most confident to give the
Give
ball
the ball
to.
to.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Because they know that he's the one having the best time.
I think that's a brilliant point.
I think
that's a
that's
brilliant
The
point.
guy who controls the game is the guy that detects the pace at which everybody plays.
But what is
but
pace?
hold on.
If,
No,
what
no,
if-
no,
you,
no.
I know I get your point.
Not
Eugene, but
running
what-
pace.
No.
No,
what
the
is
thing is
pace?
they do it with different
No,
things,
hold on,
different
hold on.
abilities.
You didn't hear what
Hold on.
Lakunle said.
Hold on, hold on.
If the team is comfortable to give this guy the ball
Ball every
all
time.
the
He's
time,
the guy they are
he's
most
the guy
comfortable
that
to
they're
give the
looking
ball
at
to.
and saying
That's the guy that's having
this
the
guy
best time
can
that day.
detect the pace
No.
of this game.
No.
Mind you, he
No.
might not be the best
No.
player on the team.
No.
On the team,
No.
yeah,
No.
that's
If you played at Chelsea when Hazard was playing, right, and you're in a tight position,
Yeah.
and you could find one pass, the pass you want to find is to Hazard.
Not every time.
In the final
there were
third.
days. There were
No,
days
in the
when
final third.
the only
Listen,
person Chelsea wanted to
listen.
go to was Diego Costa.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen.
Abi
listen,
from-
listen. It could be
There
constant
were days where it was Oscar.
semantics.
Yeah. It was Fabregas.
Semantics.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Listen. Semantics. You could go to Costa, you could go to Hazard. The point is, they were the most comfortable to take the ball at that point under pressure. It is not the same thing as controlling the tempo of the game.
You have misunderstood us.
Hold on.
You have misunderstood
We're
me.
talking midfield.
No, I get what you just said. You have
we're
misunderstood
talking
me.
midfield.
Hold on. The player that controls the tempo of the game is the one who determines who goes where, who receives what, at what pace we're playing the game at, and when we make that pass. How many sequence of passes do we need to go through before we spring the true ball?
This last one we talk,
listen. Those players are Xavi Hernandez. Those players are Paul Scholes.
Modric.
Those players are Modric. Those are Toni Kroos.
hello.
That's Perlo. Kovacic is not that kind of player.
He's not in that.
He's
that
not-
bracket.
It's not as good as those guys.
doesn't-
But what we just said.
So
listen,
don't-
what we
no,
just said.
so-
Can I make an example?
Hold on,
Can
hold
I
on,
make
hold
an
on,
example?
hold on,
Can I
hold
make
on.
an example?
Which-
Do you know that you can control the game for your team by not having the ball?
Are you say you whine me?
You can control. wait.
Are you whining? Are you whining me?
let
Are you
me
whining me?
finish.
Like Busquets.
You can control your team. You can control your team
By not having the ball.
by
like Sergio Busquets.
wait now. You can control your team by
The pass will give you a run, liver.
yeah.
Hold on.
Let me make my
That's
points.
that's
Let
more
me make my
no
points.
that's more a coaching philosophy
No, let me make my
than the
points.
player making that choice.
You be please.
No
off your
player
mic.
in football.
Off your
Hold
mic.
on.
Off your mic.
your
No
mic.
player in football
Yes.
controls the game
Yes.
by not having the ball.
Off your mic. Are you done?
No one player.
Off your mic. Off your mic. Are you done? Now, aside from what players do, where we say they are on-field coaches, say you did. Aside that, you can dictate the tempo your team goes by how much energy you put into running across the pitch and tackling.
Yeah.
By not
That's
having the
drawing
ball.
players out of position.
No,
It is not controlling the game.
You be no. I'm not
listen,
talking about drawing out of
listen,
position. Listen,
listen.
now. Let me
There's
make.
a-
Oh my
there-
God!
there's a
You are misunderstanding me,
There's
and
a
you don't want me
2v1.
to talk.
No, there's a 2v1. There's a 2v1.
Can-
I make a decoy run. I take two players out of
No,
position.
you are misunderstanding me.
Hold on.
Let me tell you something.
Or
Let me explain
the-
what I mean. I keep telling you, you are misunderstanding me. Let me explain what I mean.
Put your best foot forward, please.
No, you know they hear me. That's the problem. You see, you go into a game, right? And there's something that I know personally. If I go into a game and maybe I touch the ball the first time, I fumble it, or I've not found my feet in the game, maybe for whatever reason. But there's something that I know that I always do. Physically, you are never going to outwork me. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by you can dictate the tempo your team plays at by how much work you yourself put in.
True.
Your team sees you.
Did he hear that?
The way you are going in, and you're telling them. See what
True.
I'm saying, and
True.
the point you have made is
That would depend.
People
That would
dictate
that
games
is
with
true.
different qualities.
Yes, fact.
That would-
I
no,
totally
no,
agree, 100%.
No,
Luby.
that would depend.
What is no?
Hold on.
I'm telling you because I've done it multiple
I'll
times.
tell you what it would depend
I'm
on.
telling you because I've done it
Listen,
multiple times.
listen. It would depend ultimately on your teammates to understand what you're trying to do.
But it's the same thing
But-
with you
but-
having the ball and
no,
trying to
but
dictate
it's
the
the
game.
same thing.
No, more often than not, conventionally, the player that controls
Please,
the game
conventional doesn't
must
work
be
on
the
this
ones.
table.
Must be the
Scratch
ones.
it.
Must be the ones that determine how others play by having the ball. I've explained this before. I don't need to explain it again, right? So let's move on. But simple, you cannot put Kovacic in this conversation.
I think
right?
I think you can.
You cannot. Me, I can
Yeah.
put.
You can.
I can.
Okay.
But I will
No
never
vex.
do it. And
He concern
if
you.
he came in
Yeah.
and,
They tell you.
even Chelsea, the team he plays in, doesn't do it.
He
But let's
concern
move
you.
on. Let's move on. Right.
Which also me.
Hold on. I was making a point about De Jong, right? I think he's a good player, but
He's not a good player. He's a very good player.
I think he's a very good player.
Yeah.
I saw him when he was at Ajax, and I thought this kid could be Xavi. You know, I saw him doing 360s on people. You know, doing the roulette, coming around.
He's still doing it, by
getting
the way.
No.
So my problem with
But when players like Garvey and Pedri are dominating,
I don't think they are outshining.
hold
him.
on.
I don't think so.
When
I
players
think,
like
I
that
think
are
it's a matter
dominating,
of preference.
hold on, dominating games, doing better numbers, doing more assists than you're doing,
Can I ask?
and being indispensable to the team in relation to you.
They're Spanish now.
Hold on.
What
hold
were
on,
you expecting?
Hold on.
They're Spanish.
There are things that quality doesn't take away.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I add something?
I
Can I
agree.
There's no
Can I
amount
add
of
something?
Spanishness. There's no amount of Spanish in your blood
Yeah.
that will make you bench Modric.
Wait, can I add something? Can I quickly say something?
I agree.
When
You
De Jong was playing at Ajax,
Wait, hold on. Do you think that there's a reason that Madrid for 10 years or 8 years have not been able to displace the combination of Casemiro Brazil, Cruz Germany, Modric
if you are
Spain?
good, you are good. You no matter where you come from,
So
whether I'm
let's not do that.
But I was going to say that when De Jong was playing at Ajax, if I'm wrong, I mean, let me know. Van de Beek was getting more numbers in terms of assists and goals.
Yeah, of course.
Yes or no?
Not necessarily. He was getting more
No,
goals.
Van der Beek was getting more numbers because he was
Yeah.
playing in an advanced position. De
Who
Jong has
else?
always been a deep line playmaker.
Dusan Tadic was
Tadic,
getting more
yeah,
numbers, goals
yeah.
and numbers.
Even
Tadic wasn't at Ajax at the time.
He was.
He
actually.
was. What's his name?
was.
Promise.
Yeah, Quincy
was getting
Promes.
more goals and assists in terms of
Hakim Ziyech as well.
Hakim Ziyech was getting goals.
Yeah,
Neres
David
was getting
Neres.
more assists than
David
her.
Neres.
The point I'm trying to make is De Jong's game has never been
never been
based on
about
assists.
numbers.
It's
True.
never been based on goals
Never.
and assists.
He's the deep line
He's
guy.
been, and I remember clearly in that Ajax team, I remember we used to praise him for how much control
Yeah,
he
he had on
has
games.
in the midfield
But
on
that's,
games.
what that, but that's why. But come on.
Having said that,
You're a Barcelona. You're a Barcelona fan.
Yeah.
How many games have you seen De Jong take and say? You know, when you watch Pirlo play,
there's a
Hold
difference
on,
between Barcelona
hold
and
on.
Ajax.
Pirlo was playing. You talk about
They're
Pirlo
not-
and Juventus.
Hold on.
You talk about Pirlo and Juventus.
let me
Pirlo
not
was
go Pirlo. Let me go Carrick. Right.
Yeah.
Let me go
Even
Carrick.
Carrick.
That's a step.
now
a bit lower.
Yeah.
There were games you saw and you're like, this game, Carrick is holding this game by the neck.
Yeah.
And he's not releasing it.
And
right.
Carrick was doing that with his passing. You know, you not more.
So and De Jong doesn't have any quality than his passing. So what could you possibly?
I know De Jong travels with the ball. He's very nifty, he's skillful, he can move the
Bro,
ball
that's
around.
what you be saying. That's not enough. See, the thing is that
No, I
as a
agree.
Barca fan, you know, I said it before that when you imagine that, you know, De Jong was bought for about 75 million, you expect someone that amount to be able to do a lot of things in the
But
midfield.
Barcelona has a
But
team.
you been outplayed by Gavi.
No, but Barcelona
You've been outplayed by Pedri.
Outplay how?
What has De Jong? What has since since he
Gavi
came in?
and
The
Gavi,
only game I
credit
can
to
remember
Gavi.
De Jong play well is the final of the Copa del Rey against Bilbao. That was, I think, last 2 seasons.
Doesn't win you trophy.
Right.
You are
So-
great.
to
You're
wrap-
not
to-
great.
It's not about, you need more consistency.
To wrap
Yeah,
it
I
up,
agree.
to wrap it up,
I
the
agree.
point is, I don't think it's worth that amount of money.
Maybe
and
not.
and Ten Hag is showing very dangerous signs. Very, very dangerous signs.
United are not signing
Very,
defenders.
very dangerous
If you don't
signs.
give her 3 years
I'm
already.
seeing the briefing. The briefing that United are not concerned about the defensive position. They are more
They've
they're
got Rafael
prioritizing.
Varane, pace of
But
the
Man U have
ground.
not signed
Harry
anyone.
Maguire, great
That's-
strength and
That's
physicality.
all. That's all I'll say on that. Right? We wanted to do Premier League opening fixtures, but we have at least a month or two to speak about that, so
Yeah.
we can do that in due time. But we have to piggyback to this
Yeah.
and say, Boss Awards, thank you so much for considering the Hindsight podcast in the category. Yes, we did apply because we thought, it would be nice to try, but ultimately to be shortlisted is always great. So
Yeah.
all the nominees are winners. I saw a couple of them backstage. You guys do great as well. So fantastic job, you gentlemen. Rufai went to pee because ultimately when you
Had
drink,
so much to drink.
you had too much to drink. So it's a bit of a celebration, right? And that's it, man. We're done the podcast for
Yeah.
today. I have to say that any content that doesn't come out is from Wale.
Yeah.
Wale
Yes.
is the one holding us
Yes,
ransom.
we have to put him
So we
out
have to
there.
put him out there. To whom much is given, much is expected.
Yes,
So
brilliant.
you give him accolade. You give him accolades for producing.
Wale,
I
they
will
smoke-
don't vex. I will praise him for this
He
award.
be like Wale don't start to the
Wale
smoke.
don't start to
Igbo.
smoke small
He
Ghana-
don't dey smoke Igbo.
Ghana
If
loud.
I sit down here, they give you.
He say you know here.
props.
Wale-
You say.
Wale,
You
Wale,
say. You
come,
say. you
come,
don't give
come,
me-
come and sit down. Come and finish Wale's please.
yeah,
Come and finish
yeah.
Rufai's please.
Eh.
That's necessary. Come and sit down so that you won't say that we didn't give you props. Right.
If Wale.
Wale wore a blue native today on the podcast
Yeah.
because he wanted to stand out. So that's good. Wale is in charge of every single visual effect you see on the podcast. And I was speaking to a guy yesterday on Instagram DM, and he said, when I show sports people the content you guys make is like further mats, and I immediately understood how we specialize the contents for Instagram, for Twitter, we optimize everything. It's not the same thing. We don't go and post directly, but that's also technical. But the point is that this guy stays up at night. He's making sure that
Brilliant.
the people on Twitter see the content the way they want to see it. People on the gram see the content they want to see it. I have to also say that in the early days, to get Wale to do how we wanted to do it,
Both of you-
I was giving it a bit back and
You
forth,
guys were
right?
in a relationship.
But ultimately,
Sometimes we stay up 3 a.m. when
get-
we're having conversations. Yeah.
ultimately, you can
Solid guy
give as
you be.
much direction as you want if the person isn't willing to put in the hard graft and do it.
And guys, let
doesn't
you
do
be
it.
not be the guy pushing you. You will
get-
not like
you
it.
get- Wale puts
You're
in the
going
hard
to
graft.
fight him all the time if he's the one pushing
Constantly staying up at night and sending me
you. Yeah,
stuff. In the morning,
solid,
he's
solid
doing
stuff,
it.
Wale. Solid stuff.
I'm still holding him for the content we haven't put out.
Yeah,
You
that's
have to
the
say
thing,
No,
man.
he has lost his place, so he stays out at the end, right? But that's it. Wale, appreciate it. Keep doing more of it, and shout out to Dami as well, right? Because she gives him the license
family.
Yeah.
to come in, right?
As
But that's it.
picture.
That's
As far as perspired,
We're
Harry Maguire.
actually stuck on. We have big news coming.
Yeah. It's
And
so
we're
big.
not-
It's
we're
so
not-
big. It's
we're not
going to
even
take over the
gonna-
world.
When you're
You're
big,
big,
I
I
bet.
bet.
Right. Shouts to Big N. Shouts to Dotsu. We're not gonna put it out yet because we need a bit of stuff. But if you work with a brand or if you work with one of these multinationals and you think that we're worth putting any money on, how about you send us an email on the email.
Send us
address.
an email. Send us a
DM. We'll
Send
reply
us a DM
immediately.
with your phone number. We can call.
We'll call immediately.
There's
right?
no time for
Right. Right.
Get.
Gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure.
Yeah,
And
pleasure.
shout out to
Absolutely.
all of you. Thumbs up for everybody.
What did you guys say when I was not here?
We're done.
We don't talk about.
This guy tried for the same.
Agenda.
I don't want to drag drag Lukaku.
Transfer will still long.
No, I'm not dragging Lukaku. I want to drag Chelsea and Tuchel.
But this guy tried.
No,